I'm going through yet another sort of confusing time in my life. It's like I feel closer to God than I ever have. I feel more full of God. I feel more willing to follow the truth, or willing to do whatever he/she is asking me to do. But simultaneously, and this path is so humbling. It's so humbling. Right when there's this shape in your body that feels like, oh, I got it. Or right when you have this idea of I got it, you never have it. This guy I really like to listen to under the channel of Spiritual Renaissance. He talks about that a lot, and he's further along on his path than I am on mine, so I like to go check out what he's talking through a lot. And he likes to share that, like how if there's ever anything within you that feels like, oh, I got it, it's like, no, that part of you will quickly be humbled by the divine. And that's it for me. It's very fascinating to feel so close to God. And as I'm making this, it's like I know the answers, it's just not the answers I want. I'm from an egoic level. It's like when the ego is uncomfortable and whatever, just uncomfortable and encountering discomfort, it wants to almost like Jedi mind trick away of like, there's got to be a different path that's in more alignment that I wouldn't be suffering on as much. And that's like the ego's nature. And it's another, I'm going to reference a teacher of mine, Craig Holliday, is a lot like what he says, like, the truth has nothing to do with feelings. And sometimes it's the case. It's not like we're always going to be suffering if we're living our truth or something like that, or we're always going to be in pain or discomfort. But there are the growing pains. There are like the pains of our humanity evolving, like the pressure cooker of growth, and you can look around on Earth. I don't read the news too much, but I catch things coming in every now and then. I mean, I kind of got involved in the news because I was going to travel to Guatemala, and I couldn't, and then other things started coming in. Earth in itself is going through massive growing pains right now, like the humanity. I don't know if it's necessarily Earth, but hopefully there's like a leap in consciousness happening. I have no idea. It feels like there's a lot coming to the surface to be digested by the light. And where I was going with that is, I'm just going to talk about my own path again now. It's difficult when you are in truth and the things that your ego says should be happening when you're living truth aren't happening. It's just like, what the fuck? And so the mind will scramble. The mind will scramble when we're living in alignment with truth, the best we know how. The mind will scramble for an answer, for a solution. And some of this is beautiful because it's like deep inquiry. When we're on the path and we're encountering some type of suffering, that's usually when we inquire the deepest and the most honest. And that's actually really beautiful. That's one of the advantages of suffering, is it helps us to know thyself deeper. And it's like this guy from Cosmic or Spiritual Renaissance, he says, like, a lot of times we're just in the cosmic multure of that terminology. And it's helping us to get clear. It's purifying us, you know? It's like when it's almost like it's removing the part of us that's saying, I'm going to live in alignment with you, God, as long as you bring me my rewards. Because that's not, I've had that. I think I still have it a little bit, maybe a lot of it. Some of these things we have a lot more than we know we have because we just haven't been able to see them yet. So I know there's so many there's so much stuff in my own field that's there more than I can even see right now. And so when we're living truth and God isn't like giving us what our mind says we should be getting, it helps to dissolve another layer of that aspect of ourself. And it helps to purify us so that, you know, we're just living truth, period. Not because of what we can get from it or anything, but just because living truth is its own greatest reward, you know? The closeness that you feel with God when your life is devoted to her or him. That's where really all the good stuff is. And sometimes we have to be disappointed by God, and sometimes we have to be really let down, and sometimes God disappoints us through others. Fuck, I know God has disappointed others through me. And maybe in that way, it's like that helps us find our way in a deeper sense. Maybe that helps us to release expectations and this layer of control in a deeper way of like, oh fuck, you know, I actually don't know. Like, I don't think any of us actually know. And we can pretend we know things based on what we read and what we hear other people say, and even in our own experiences. And it's from our own experiences that we actually come the closest to knowing something. But then life, over and over again, undoes the part of us that thinks it knows something, or how things are going to go or should go, or this means that, that means this. It's like, it's all actually beyond. And there's like a deep sadness there, you know, I feel in my belly. There's just like a deep, like sadness, but yet like rest, or it's almost like a rest, because then we're left with, well, what then? And then the only answer that was coming to me is you rest there. You rest and abide in the unknown. It's like, we don't know what's going to happen. Look at the world right now. Who knows? Who knows? The mind can't fully grasp God's intelligence and the way God is using events and circumstances and the things we're calling problems, our problems, as ways to help us deepen into truth, as ways to help us liberate from an older consciousness that is not really kind of permitted on earth in a sense anymore, that's not really supported on earth. It's like our mind cannot understand how God is working through us and what God is doing right now. A lot of times we can't see the bigger picture if we're just so zoomed in on what we're perceiving as our problem right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, let's be in the humanity. Let's own what feels like a problem. Like, what does that make you feel? You know? Does it make you feel sad? Then feel fucking sad. So it's both things, right? Does it make you feel hopeless? Then feel hopeless, you know? Does it make you feel angry? Then let yourself be angry. I had to like let myself do that in the car. Some disappointment and sadness came through. And I just was like, oh, that's what I'm here for. To feel deeply. And whether you want to chalk it up to your circumstances or something bigger than that, whatever, it's just like, we're really here to feel and to breathe. And also simultaneously to let go of our expectations of how everything should go, and to let go of trying to control life, because life, she's wild, you know? She's gonna do her thing, whether we like it or love it or hate it or whatever, she's doing it. It's like this great sage said, try as hard as you want to make something happen that's not destined to happen, you'll never be able to make it happen. And conversely, try as hard as you want to stop something from happening that's destined to happen, and you'll never stop it from happening. It's like there's a divine destiny playing out right now on earth through us, through every being. And that destiny, you know, it's not going to check with our egos first. Like, hey, should we do that? No. It's not going to come to our ego. Is this what you... No, and sometimes the divine destiny is temporarily destructive, and it's fire, and it's, you know, it's the burning down of the phoenix. It's Kali. And when that's happening, if we're doing this, it's just going to probably hurt more. And that's okay. Let go if you're doing it. If you're doing that, you're doing that. Watch yourself doing that. Watch yourself grabbing and wanting and be conscious through it. If you can't help it, you can't help it. That's part of it too. That's not wrong. But the more we're just able to be like, wow, this isn't actually my life. Yes, we're a sovereign being, but actually this life is life's. This is just life living us. This life is the Divine Mother's. And then you get to let go of both, like the blame. If you have problems, it's like not your fault, but also you let go of the credit too. If things are going well, it's like, no, it's not your fault, and you're not like some kind of hero either, you know? You didn't do bad or good. It's just like, no, you're just here. Your life is living you. You're the experiencer of this body's destiny. Your body, mind has a destiny. You get to experience that destiny out. You don't get to like change it, because like, and that can be a controversial topic, free will and everything. People want to have control. And you get to have the experience of control and the experience of choice at times. Sometimes that's taken too. But it's a balance, you know? Just because we don't have control and we have a destiny doesn't mean, oh, we do absolutely nothing. I mean, try. You'll notice your body will do stuff. The force of grace will surge through you and activate you for your next whatever thing. It's like your life force will pull you through the events you're meant to go through. Even if you have this belief of like, oh, I guess just nothing means any, you know, it's like a lot of non-dual teachers will even say, yeah, just try to lay in bed all day. Your body will get up. Yeah, so just feel what's coming up for you. Try to let go the best you can. know that underneath it all, it is an act of love. And even like the temporary upheavals, the temporary turmoil, the temporary pain and suffering, it always helps the collective move towards a higher state of being, move towards a more peaceful world, move towards a more equitable world, a more compassionate world. Like, that's why everything is happening the way it is, in a deeper sense, in your own personal life and in the collective. It's like we're going there together. So, and it's going to show up in your own personal life in ways you didn't think. Like, I didn't think my life would be moving the way it is right now. It's very fascinating. But I can also see, when we zoom out from a bigger picture, like, oh shit, exactly what this one needs, this egoic structure needs to really dissolve more deeply, and for love to shine through more fully. And so ask yourself that question in your own life. Like, is this what I need from the highest place, from a higher sense, from a deeper place of asking? And you might see that your current circumstances, your current life that your ego is disgruntled with and in resistance to, is actually it's actually very medicinal. It's actually this very powerful, transformative type of setup that life has you cornered in a way, you know? I think we're all going through it. Some chills when I say that. We're all going through it in one way or another. We're all going through something right now. It almost has to be that way. I don't think there's one human on earth that's escaping this. You know what I mean? Whoa, full body chills. We're all getting our medicine right now in whatever dosage and form we need it. Then my mother's like, this is for you. Here's that for you. Oh shit. So you're not alone. Life still loves you. The Divine Mother still loves you. Just rest in your belly. Rest in your sacral and your hara and your root chakra. All will be well. Sending you all so much love. If this work adds value to your journey, yeah, I don't know. I'm just sending you guys love. Whatever. See you in the next video. Namaste.